What is up, everybody? This is Nerding Out Sports, and the Giants lost again last night in another flat performance. 20-6 to the Cleveland Browns on Sunday Night Football. We got flexed into Sunday Night Football, and that's what we got to see. It was a tough game to watch. Um, and much like last week, I'm just upset about the performance, especially coming off of that four-game winning streak where you had that nice win against Seattle. The team's feeling good, and then they go home against Arizona and they get blown away. And you have the same thing happen again last night where you just come up flat. To see two straight performances where the team just looked unprepared at such a critical time, I get it. The Giants were never supposed to be a contender this year, but the fact that they have a shot and they're playing meaningful football this late, and then to see two performances like this back to back is definitely a little upsetting. At the same time, though, I'm okay with not making the playoffs. I'm just going to say it. I'll call it what it is. As great as it would be to win the division and make the playoffs, I won't care if they don't, because I've already seen enough positives this year to have me confident going forward with this coaching staff into the next season. But as for this game, I'll just say it. I don't like the decision to go for it on fourth down on that first drive. The second time they did it, I can understand it because you need to get a touchdown at some point in this game. But that first drive, that play call was atrocious. I didn't like it. The Browns weren't fooled. People were saying that Nick Gates was open. There were three Cleveland players around him the whole time. I just don't like the play call. The decision to go for it, I guess you want to be aggressive early, but that play call was bad. Cleveland was not confused. That was the whole point, was to try to get them confused so you can get the center wide open, but they weren't. It wasn't a good play call, and I guess hindsight is 2020. If you take the points there and you take the points in that second drive, you only lose by 8. So you still lose. That's the way it is. They would have won. They wouldn't have won this game had they took the points in both of those scenarios. But that first drive specifically, I take the points. It's always good to go down and get some points on your first drive. I get it. A touchdown would have been great. It would have been a cool thing to talk about had they gotten that fake or that Riley Dixon touchdown pass to Nick Gates, but Cleveland wasn't fooled by it. And I just don't like that play call. In terms of the rest of the offense, they didn't run the ball nearly as much as they should have. A lot of first down passes that got them nothing. And then you're running on 2nd and 10, and you're getting like 2, 3, 4 yards max. So you're putting yourself into a bunch of third and long situations all night. And the Giants were 5 for 11 on third down, so not terrible, but not great. McCoy wasn't too bad, in my opinion, considering this Giant offense just isn't that good. And McCoy wasn't that bad. The offensive line was much better this week, that's for sure. He only got sacked once. But they didn't run the ball that much at all. Only had 74 rushing yards in total, and I think Alfred Morris led the team with most of them. We barely saw Wayne Gallman. I run the football. When you're down your starting quarterback against a Browns team that's given up a lot of yards on the ground, or at least last week they did, run the ball. The Giants had a chance to come back all night. They lost by 14, even though the defense was getting shredded by Baker Mayfield. They only gave up 20 points. Because right now, the only way the Giants are going to score or get down the field consistently is through the run game. So, yeah, offense was bad once again. Defense, like I said, they were tired late. The Browns' running game really took over late in that game, but for the most part, they actually did a really good job against the run. They only gave up 106 yards in total, but it was Baker Mayfield. He just had a night. 27 of 32, 297 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was barely pressured at all. The Giants only had 1 sack. They did not pressure him basically at all night, and that's how you lose games. Middle of the field is wide open. Not having Bradbury out there certainly sucked. But when you give up 2 touchdown drives of 95 yards, you're struggling. The Browns, yeah, they only scored 20 points, but they had their 3 scoring drives were long, time consuming drives where they went right down the field. And yeah, that's how you lose games. Eventually, your defense is going to get tired when your offense can't match what the other team is doing. The Giants were doing that early on. They were matching Cleveland's drives. They were having long possessions, getting into the red zone, just not coming away with points. But then in the second half is where they just couldn't do anything. And it's going to happen. When your offense can't score, the defense is going to get tired, and that's what we saw last night. So a rough game. If the Giants don't make the playoffs, I won't be too upset. I still think this season has been a success considering how it started at 1-7. The fact that we still have this shot is impressive, but it's just a little bit discouraging seeing them play 2 games in a row at such a critical time where they've looked so bad. So next week is Baltimore. That's going to be difficult. Yeah, this one sucked. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Be sure to like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Let's go Giants. Peace out.